you're lucky, you'll see him darting across looking for this fly. He's pretty excited about it. All right, so let's start seated. We're still kind of focusing on some pranayama techniques this month. And so you're gonna start I like to always have a cushion under my seat. It feels more upright and put your hips and your pelvis at a better position for seated. And last week we did our Nadi Shodhana, breathing out both sides to balance both sides of our body. And this week we're doing Samavritti, which we breathe in for an amount of breaths and then out for about the same amount of breaths. Last Tuesday we held at the top for that same amount of time, which is called a kumbhaka. And this time we're going to add holding it at the bottom of the breath too. So that retention is, as I said on Tuesday, a really great way for us to just add a pause in our cycle of breath, but also reminding us to add some pauses in our cycles of life too. It's just an intentional way to create some space and just really like let the space be space and not try to fill it with anything else, just allowing a little bit of room for something new and expansiveness. Also, what this breath does is activates our parasympathetic nervous system, which is the nervous system that calms us down and makes us feel more relaxed. It puts us at ease. It allows our internal organs to work better. Digestion even flows easier when our parasympathetic nervous system is activated. So we will, like I said, start on a cushion. You can place your palms on your hands, and we'll take just a couple of breaths, 3 or so, to get ourselves acclimated with mind and body. So go ahead, palms to knees, close down your eyes. Root your seat into your cushion. Grow tall through the crown of your head, but nothing too forced. You want to feel like you're in a dignified posture, but not really pushing yourself to be too rigid. Then we'll take a deep inhale, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Get the sense of your body breathing and taking an intentional breath as you inhale. Exhale, let go of any tensions. One more together. Inhale, expand through all 4 sides of your ribs. And exhale, release. Now we'll start our pranayama together. We'll breathe in for 6 breaths. So we're going to start with 4 and then hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4. We'll do that cycle together twice, and then I'll let you do that on your own for a couple rounds. Okay, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold at the top, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold at the bottom, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Continue on your own. Feel free to add an extra count or 2. Following your breath from its beginning point to its end point. and then resting in the space between. After you finish your next exhale, sit for a moment with the natural rhythms of your breath. Notice how that specific pranayama made you feel, how it may have impacted the conditions of your mind, and your ability to be present, anchored into what's real. And we can open our eyes, start to take some movements with our shoulders, rolling them up towards our ears and back behind us. Switch directions, go forward, stretch the backs of your shoulders. Then we'll come forward into all fours. You move your cushion aside for now and come into hands and knees. Move through cat-cow. As you inhale, reach your heart forward, hip points reach back and up. Exhale, press down into your hands, chin to your chest, lift behind your heart. Inhale, lengthen out, pull your hands towards your knees, back muscles engaged to lengthen. And as you exhale, press your hands down and away, pull your abdominals in, navel to spine. You can continue moving in the cat-cow fashion, or if you want to incorporate some movement, send your hips back and around and then up towards the front of the mat. Get a little more smooth fluidity out of your movement. Whatever feels natural and comfortable for you today. Experiment with articulating your spine in different ways, moving in an organic manner. Then come back to neutral. Walk your hands just one hand print forward. Tuck your toes and send your hips back towards your heels. So you get nice, strong, and long through your arms. And then inhale, round your back, tuck your chin like we do in cat pose. Come all the way forward until your shoulders are over your wrists. Almost like you're in a knee plank. Well, you are in a knee plank. And then come back towards your heels again, hips to heels like child's pose. Inhale, round forward, much like we would do rounding into plank. Lengthen out through your sternum when you get to the top, and then back towards child's pose. Let's do that a couple more times, moving smoothly, trying to take out some of the rigidity, like we're sandpapering everything out. Sandpaper, that's the image you want while you're doing yoga. You're welcome. And then come back to child's pose. Tuck your toes and find downward dog. Pedal your knees, bending one, or pedal your feet, bending one knee at a time. Stretch the backs of your legs, calves, ankles, hips. Ooh. Just get a sense of how things are feeling today. And see if you can look at all of that, all of each sensation with compassion rather than judgment. It's really easy to criticize ourselves when we're feeling sore or experiencing some sort of bodily discomfort. But that's just an opportunity to send yourself a little bit of love. And once you feel like you've gotten the cobwebs out of the way, come back to downward dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out your mouth. And then inhale, lift your right leg straight back and up. Reach out through your right heel. Exhale, bring your right knee in towards your chest. Shift forward and place your right foot next to your right hand. Ground your back knee. And if you have blocks, this could be helpful, but you don't have to use blocks. Start with your right hand on the earth or on a block. Inhale your left hand up and over, hips move down and forward. Watch your left hand come across the front of your body, and then place your left hand on the earth, right or on a block. Right arm comes up and over, comes across midline, and then right hand to hip. Left arm reaches forward and up, heart lifts, slight back bend here. Exhale, both hands down to the mat. Tuck your toes, lift your back knee, and step into plank. Press into your fingertips and slowly lower all the way to the mat. Tops of fingers press down, tops of feet press down and back. Shoulders loop, reach your heart forward as you reach up through cobra and soften down. Toes tuck, knees lift, navel to spine, through plank to downward dog. Ooh, big shoulder pop. Inhale, left leg, reach back and up. Exhale, hug your knee into center, lift from center, shift forward, left foot to left thumb, ground your right knee. Take your left hand to the earth, reach your right arm up and over, big side body stretch. Right hand crosses across the front, and then your right hand to the earth, left arm reaches up and over. You can watch it as it sweeps through space and then lands on your left hip. Right arm reaches forward, up to the sky, heart lifts, and then exhale, both hands to the mat. Tuck your toes, step into plank, and then with patience, down to the earth. With fluidity and ease, move through cobra. And then resilience, call upon your strength to come back through plank to downward dog. Breathe and then move. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, knee through center. Foot to thumb, ground your back knee. Right hand to the earth or to a block. Left arm lifts, big side stretch through your left side body. And then left hand to the earth. Right arm reaches down, up and over. Right hand to your hip. Left thumb leads. Hips moving down and forward, a little back bend. Hands to the earth, press into your fingertips. Keep your shoulders over your wrists as you step into plank. Pull navel to spine as you lower. Tops of fingertips press down. Shoulders loop. Keep the back of your neck long as you use your back muscles to lift. And then soften. Toes tuck through plank to downward dog. The left side. Inhale, then move. Exhale, knee to chest, foot to thumb, knee to mat. Start with your left hand down on the earth, right arm reaches up. Right hand grounds, left arm reaches up. Face the kitty. And then right hand sweeps forward. Lift your heart, move your hips down. And then both hands to the mat. Careful, Frank. Step into plank, step into Frank. And then with strength, all the way down to the mat. Peel yourself away from the earth. Reach your heart forward and soften. Tuck your toes, knees lift, navel lifts. Back to downward dog. One more time on each side. Right foot. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to chest, foot to thumb. Ground your back knee. Anchor your right hand next to your right hip on the earth. Left arm sweeps over your head. Cross your body. Left hand to the mat. Right arm lifts. Right hand to hip. Heart and hips moving in opposite directions. And then hands to the mat. Seal your palms. Step with strength and intention into plank. Use your legs as brakes as you move down to the mat. Shoulders loop. Expand the front of your body, collarbones broad. And release. Back to downward dog. For the last round on our left side, inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to chest. Foot to thumb, back knee lowers. Ground your left hand, right arm sweeps up and over. Left hand up. Left hand to hip, right arm sweeps forward and up. Lift your heart, gaze up towards the sky, and then place both hands to the mat. Step into plank. Exhale all the way down. Reach heart and feet in opposite directions as you peel up and soften to the earth. Hands underneath your shoulders. Back to downward dog. And hold for 3 breaths, where all you do is breathe. It's the only responsibility you have right now. Your next exhale, bring your knees back down to the mat. And we'll get set up for our core work, which I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling it in my quads from last time, which doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it, although that is my temptation. So we're gonna do it again. And remember that so go ahead and stack your hips over your knees. So you've got this long line from head, shoulders, hips, knees, and we're creating this staff-like pose here. So even when we lean back, we're in a completely straight angle, and we're not doing this, and we're not doing this as we lean back, but we're completely solid. This is like the one part of this class where I'm going to really emphasize this like solid state. The rest of the class is very much rooted in being fluid and moving with ease. But here there's a little bit more of the tension that we're creating just to keep our lower backs strong. So to do that, if you remember what we did on Tuesday, and you don't necessarily have to do this, but maybe you want to try, if you come to hands and knees and you do cat pose with just your hips and you feel this like you're tucking under and drawing your navel in, well, we want that same action, but from here. So you can even bring your hands to your side and say like, okay, I am fortified. I think that's like actually an order at Cafe Gratitude. Just made me think about that. All right, so navel to spine, little bit of an engagement through your hips to keep you in a straight line, and then bring your hands to your, or elbows to your side, palms up. Press into the tops of your feet and lean back. Stay completely straight through your spine, reach your arms forward. Then on your exhale, turn your palms out, swim your way to the top. Like a big, you're taking a big, I don't know if that's a breaststroke. I don't know anything about swimming. Beth can tell us after class. Lean on back, palms out, and then to the top. Hands come behind you, palms open, but come back a little bit further this time. And then to center. Let's do 2 more. Go back to a point where you think it's going to be, I don't know if I can do it, but you can. And then come to the top. 1 more. This time we're going to hold for just a little extra when we get here. Just you're going to take these little pulses. Oh yeah. You can feel the strength of our core. Start to feel the heat. It's keeping us alive. And then come back to the top. Ooh, bring your palms down to the mat. I like to wag my tail from side to side after this one. I know you don't have tails, but we used to have tails at one point. And then once you feel like you've worked it out, come back to neutral. Tuck the toes and come back into downward dog. Let's take 3 cleansing breaths here. Deep inhale, breathe in from the bottom of your belly. And as you exhale, open up your mouth and stick your tongue out. 2 more, really. As you inhale, breathe everything you can in, and then exhale, let it all release, make some noise. Last one. Brilliant. Now bring your big toes together. Inhale your right leg all the way up. We're going to do a little hip opening here. Bend at your knee. Square your shoulders. And here we're really just opening up our hips, finding some freedom. So if it feels good to move or be still, a lot of what we're going to do today is in the neutral hip family. So I'd like to do a little bit of expansion before we get going in that. All right, now take your knee through center, lift from center, shift forward, and bring your foot next to your thumb. Keep your back knee lifted and take your hands underneath your shoulders. We'll do lunge pulses here. So you're on your fingertips, lifting up through your left hamstring. On an inhale, tuck your chin, press the earth down with your hands and lift the space behind your heart. Exhale, heart reaches forward, left heel reaches back. Inhale, draw in, keep your right knee over your right ankle. Exhale, reach your heart forward. For the next two, really think about pulling your feet towards each other as you inhale. And as you exhale, think like cobra pose. Reach your heart forward. Inhale, draw in. Exhale, keep lifting through your left hamstring. And then we'll stay here, but move your left hand underneath your nose. Follow your right elbow up for a twist, a lunge twist. You've got your left ribs moving towards the insides of your right thigh. On an exhale, sweep your right hand underneath. Inhale, press down through your left, reach up through your right, shoulder stack. Exhale, back down. Keep your legs strong so they're an active part of this. I know they're not moving. It's easy to forget to keep lifting your back hamstring, but keep everything really solid. But smooth movements through your arms. Last time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring your right hand down and ground your left knee. Climb your hands aboard your top thigh here. You're going to use your hands to traction, like you're going to pull the skin towards your knee on an inhale. So you'll press your thigh forward, tuck your chin, and then on the exhale, loop your shoulders, hips move down and forward, heart lifts. Inhale, chin tucks, press your hands forward. Exhale, lift your heart. Now think about moving your feet or your right foot towards your left knee as you inhale. Exhale, press right foot forward, left knee down and away. One more like that. Activate your legs. And release. Or lift your heart. Bring both your hands to the mat. And we'll move through half splits to low lunge a couple of times. Just add a little bit of fluidity here, a little exploration. Feel free to stop along the way if you find an interesting point and something that needs a little extra stretch. For me, I'm feeling like low lunge is kind of interesting, so we can take a pause, a lunar pause where it feels right for you. We'll be here for about a minute. So find something that's calling to you, something that you can stick with that's challenging you in the right ways. Notice where your mind goes when you're asked to pause. And as it drifts, gently shepherd your attention back to the breath. Take the last inhale and exhale in whatever position you've chosen. And then we'll move your right knee back to meet your left. Find Anahata Asana by reaching your arms forward like we would in downward dog, and leave space between your palm and the earth so you're pressing into your fingertips, arms long and strong. Inhale, tuck your chin, lift the space behind your heart. Exhale, release chin and chest towards the earth. Inhale, pulse in. Exhale, soften back down. Bring your forearms to the mat. Tuck your toes. Stack shoulders over elbows. And inhale, draw in from center, just little pulse. Press your forearms down and apart. Inhale, pull your elbows towards center, and then knees down, hips down, tops of feet pressed down, and reach your heart forward and up. We're in Sphinx pose. Exhale, release. Now, before we come up, the first krama that we're going to, is what we'll call this of our practice today, is locust pose. So go ahead, interlace your fingers behind you. So you've got some shoulder extension happening with your hands behind you, which is what we'll need for Dhanurasana. So reach your hands back towards your feet and reach your heart forward. So you're moving in two opposite directions there. Shoulder blades draw together. Now, if it's okay with your back, you could lift your legs, and lifting from the base where they root with your glutes. And then press your feet back as much as you can. See if you can even expand the space between your toes. Lift your heart a little higher. Don't forget to breathe and press down into your hips. That's a key action there. Is hips press down, heart lifts up. And then slowly, carefully release. Take your hands underneath your forehead and gently rock your heels from side to side as to let any tension that may have built up in your lower back release. Hands back underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes, navel up towards spine, and then from plank to downward dog. Got a little wardrobe thing going here. Okay. In downward dog, go ahead, lift your left leg up as high as you can. Stretch your hips open. Find some freedom, expansion. Maybe bend at your knee. Keep your shoulders square. We want this to be about our hips, not our back. We're going to do other stuff for our back today. Find some movement if you need it. And then on your next exhale, bring your left knee in towards your chest. Lift from center as you move forward and place your left foot next to your left thumb. Hands come underneath your shoulders, so you're on your fingertips for our lunge pulses. And remember that left knee never comes back behind left ankle, so it stays bent the entire time. And right hamstring lifts the whole time too. Okay, fingertips press down. Inhale, reach, or exhale. Now inhale, lift the space behind your heart. Exhale, think cobra with your shoulders. Reach your sternum forward, back through right heel. Inhale, pull feet towards each other. Lunge, pulse in. Exhale, breathe out, expand and lengthen. Navel to spine. Then use your strong back to lengthen from the crown of your head to your right heel. Last one, pull in. Exhale, lengthen out. And then like we did before, take your right hand underneath your nose. Squeeze your thighs towards each other and follow your left elbow up. So you're moving fluidly, right rib cage towards the insides of left thigh. Exhale, left arm sweeps underneath your thigh. Inhale, reach up. Notice if you have a tendency to start straightening your front legs, it's easier. Exhale down. And you know what? If easier is what you need right now, take it. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, press down through your right hand, lift up through your left. And exhale, left hand to the mat. Ground your back knee. Left hand aboard, right hand aboard. So we've got one hand on top of the other. You're going to press your hands down and forward. Tuck your chin round the space behind your heart on an inhale. And then exhale, hips move down and forward. Lift your heart. This is even quite a bit of a back bend. Inhale, left foot moves towards right knee. And then hips move down and forward as heart lifts up and back. 2 more. Last one. And bring both of your hands down to the mat. We'll move back and forth from half splits to low lunge just a couple of times, or as many times as you want. If movement suits you today, if you're feeling a little stuck, you don't have to stop. You can continue to move from one place to another. As mentioned, the low lunge is feeling appropriate for me today. So this is where I'm going to pause. And maybe it looks the same on this side or slightly different. For me, taking my hands right here underneath my shoulders is helping me get the stretch I need for the insides of my thighs. Ooh. I am watching the time. So again, we'll be here for about another 45 seconds. So use this as time to practice paying attention to the space between your thoughts. Take one more mindful inhale and exhale. And move your left knee back to meet your right. Hips over knees, find Anahata Asana. It's a heart opener pose. Arms strong and long. Tuck your chin, lift the space behind your heart like there's a balloon inflating below you. And exhale, release, soften, flow towards the earth. One more pulse, breathe in. Exhale, bring forearms to the mat. Palms open, fingers spread wide, tuck your toes, find forearm plank. Pulse in, one breath, press your forearms down, round your back. And exhale, reach sternum forward, heels out. Knees ground, hips, and then reach your heart up, pull your elbows towards you, lengthen across the front of your body, and soften back down. For our final trick today, we come up through hands and knees, and we'll prepare our support system here. So I have this bolster, which I like to use, but since we don't all have bolsters, I'm not going to use it today. I'm going to use also my setup, which is a couple of pillows. And I may want this blanket, I'm not sure yet. So what we're going to do, and I'll show you first, is you're going to lay so that the front end or the pillow, the edge of the pillow that's closest to you hits about right at your hip points, or maybe, yeah, like right where you're at the top of your legs. And then we'll do Dhanurasana from here. We'll take a couple of pulses, but I like this because it gives you the expansion that you seek in Dhanurasana, but may not all have the back strength support for yet. So this is more of a stretch. It's more of a passive back stretch. So do be careful. All right, go ahead and if you haven't already, position your home bolster so that your hips are at the end or the edge that's closest to you for the pillows. And then you'll pull your heels in towards you. Take your hands to the outside edges of your feet. And you want to make sure that your knees don't spread out and neither do your feet. So everything's in line with your hips. And then you'll press your shins back and pulling into your hands at the same time and lift your heart as high as you can. So you're lengthening from the front of your torso. And if you start to feel any pinching in your lower back, it's a sign to let off. And this, of course, can be done without the bolsters if you don't like it. I kind of like the way this feels. You feel so much more uplifted. Let's take one more pulse, kind of back off. And then again, press your shins back. Keep the back of your neck long so you're not looking up. And then release everything down to the mat. Carefully roll to the side. You can push your support system away for the moment. I don't think you'll need it again. And then we'll just come to our backs. Keep your knees bent. Take your feet to the outside edges of your mat and your arms over your head. Gently windshield wiper your knees from side to side. And do go slow. Take your time to get from one side to the next. Imagine that you're beachside. All you hear is sound of gentle waves meeting the shore. And bring your knees back to center. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Grab a hold of your hands and we'll just rock gently from side to side. You can stay like this in Apanasana, which is great. This is a good stretch for the glutes and your lower back. Or you could find Happy Baby, which some people love, some don't. You get a little, you still get the stretch of the backs of your hips and your glutes and your lower back, but you add a little stretch to the insides of your thighs. It's a hip opener here. And then again, you're finding a gentle rocking motion. Relax your shoulders and jaw, forehead. Pay attention to the downward movement of energy. Let your hips be heavy. And bring the soles of your feet together so you can interlace your fingers. And then press your feet away from you and press your knees away from you. Your arms get long. You're in Baddha Konasana on your back. This is another great stretch for the insides of our legs. But of course, if this is uncomfortable for you for any reason, you could come back to Apanasana. And then bring both feet to the mat. Keep your knees bent for starters. And bring your feet to the outside edges of the mat. Let your knees tip in towards each other. So your feet are in line with your knees and they're not in by your hips. Bring your right hand to your belly, left hand to your heart. We're going to take 2 more rounds of Samavriti together. And we'll take 6 breaths this time. Of course, if 4 was more your speed, please take that option. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, or exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take 2 more rounds on your own. Once you've exhaled on your last round, sit for a moment like this in constructive rest. Resume your breath. I would recommend taking Shavasana in this pose, as we did a pretty good amount of back work today. You, of course, are welcome to lengthen out through your feet. So wherever you've chosen to be there and rest. Without moving or opening your eyes, become aware of your surroundings. Bring awareness back to your body by deepening your breath, making small movements, fingers and toes, wrists, ankles. Reach your arms over your head, stretching from fingertips to toe tips. Bend at your knees and roll gently to one side. You pause for just a moment to become aware of your state of mind, to observe the conditions of your mind. And press yourself up into a seated position at the top of the mat. Bring your palms together. Sit tall, dignified. Nanjali Mudra is a gesture of gratitude we send to ourselves, to our community, to the people and yogis in life who have made it possible for us to have this practice. May you and all living things be safe, be happy, be healthy, and live with strength and ease. Namaste.